So as I said, I represent Sejura, and Sejura is an IT company. We are into data-driven business strategies. That means we build a lot of solutions for industry. That is, we are NASSCOM and ICM member, and we do application development, data services, AI model building, and embedded systems. All those things. We have one floor full of robotics and all, embedded systems. All those things we do. That is one. And along with that, we develop applications and also full stack and mostly into data services. That is data analytics, data science, or AI, so-called AI. So long time back, we started a company called SedLearn. That is Sejura's Learning, SedLearn. Okay. This is where we teach directly to the students. Actually, we started to train these corporate clients, managers and all. Slowly we ventured into and we started building this platform, and it ran well, and we are now in the second position in the South India. So this is how entire data journey we map, and we teach all those courses. In one of them is DevOps. Okay, so application development is one part and DevOps is another part. So I personally have experience in some of the students. I'm not saying that it applies to everyone, but most of the students are scared about coding or something like that. Okay, so when you are scared about coding and all, people say that go to DevOps. Okay, go to DevOps and it will be very easy for you. That is what and people always say, because when I say full stack developer or I talk about data science, data analytics and all, students get confused. So most of the times the story is like, why DevOps? I ask students and they say low coding or no coding. Now they say no coding, sir. That's why I'm taking DevOps. Then I ask them, do you think that anything in the world that deals with IT or computer science there is no coding? Can you believe that? Even if you open Excel, okay, you need to write a small script or code. Okay, that is, if you want to find the mean or average, equal to average and select a bunch of things. So that means we'll do equal to average and select A2 to B4 kind of thing. If you do that, this is actually, can we call it as code or scripting? So when you open a computer, when you buy a new computer, you need operating system. Without operating system, there is no brain for the computer, so it is useless. So once you have operating system, on that operating system, there are several applications running. Okay, be it Word or Excel or PowerPoint or PDF or whatever, or Chrome for that matter. Okay, all these run on that operating system. So these are must. It could be a Linux or iOS. Okay, the Apple or Mac you call it, and Windows. Okay, so anything it may be, you will need operating system, and at the operation level again there is some Linux coding or scripting we do. Fine. Okay, so here we have applications. Without applications, your computer is useless. You bought a new computer, I installed Windows, so what you will do? You will play the mind game or what? So that's it. So we need application. So application comes with a boundary. That means you can do some things, you can't do many things. That means if you take a Word, you can't watch videos. If you take Chrome, you can connect to internet but not prepare Excel sheet. If you go for Excel sheet, you can't create, working on the PDF and all. So that is how these applications has a purpose and come with boundary. When students say that, okay, I want to use my computer to the fullest, that means we got another one where we have programming language. What is this programming language? This helps us to build applications. Okay, that may be web application, mobile application, or it can be a game, whatever it is, whatever these applications you can build using this programming language. That means programming language will help us to use the computer, entire resources and all. That means we can communicate computer, we can instruct computer directly. Actually, these applications are built using programming languages. Okay, so that is how programming language is behind everything. But when I say programming language, half of you will run away. Okay, so that's why you are maybe, I mean, I'm not saying that everyone is true, but maybe some of you are looking at DevOps because it is no coding. Somebody said no coding. But again, I ask you, if you are using a computer, okay, and some tools and all, do you think that there is no coding? That means somebody, whatever whoever is saying, maybe is doing a white lie or half truth. So today, that is why we framed the heading as whether DevOps is no coding or low coding. Okay, so this is why you are here, and I will try to summarize the entire thing. And in the last, we'll talk about tools, what tools we use, why we use, and I will take you to the process. And each process, some tools are replicable, and what are these tools, and why are we doing? Actually, what is DevOps and how it has evolved? Is it really evolved for IT softwares and all, or is it evolved for as a generic purpose? Okay, as a culture, as a process, as a streamlining the entire process. So what it is, so we will learn about. So simple case study: what is DevOps? Why do you use, and why you should consider it, and what are the effective steps in learning the DevOps? And finally, we will answer whether there is coding or not. So the entire story, the hero of the story is coding or low coding or no coding. It will be cleared in the last. So hang on. So whenever I take you through this process of development and all, don't mind. Most of you don't understand these technical jargons. Okay, but don't worry. You just need to stay there. Sometimes it's like you watching movie. Some movies, like Night Shyamalan movies or Matrix movies, you're expected to watch 2 or 3 times to understand the movie. So it is okay. This is building your life. DevOps is going so good in the market, and it is in high demand that it worth that much strain. Okay, good. So the average what you're talking about is the salary is like 6 lakhs, 8 lakhs for that matter. Okay, and if you're a fresher, okay, you will get a bit low, but again, the senior guys, 1 year, 2 year experience are fetching a lot. And for that matter, any product company, any service company needs a DevOps engineer. Okay, so it became a culture. It became part of that. Like IT, when you say IT, usually we take networking, computers, and all like that. When you say software development, DevOps became a part of it. Okay, it's right from 2008 and 9, 10. It started slowly picking up, and these days it's doing great. Okay, so let's go through this process. So whenever we talk about any application, okay. So what is the typical application release process? That means you have an application and that should reach the end user. Okay, that should reach the end user. That end user may be using a web application or internet or a mobile application or something. This application should reach a end user. That is where the value is created. The value is created by the end user when he or she uses it. So the entire typical process is deliver application to the end user and make it available. This is very, very important. Managing, okay, managing and making it available. Okay, so 100 guys, even usually you remember these government websites and all. When suddenly some results announced, so many users go and they go down. So that means availability, accessibility is the issue. That means somebody working on the networking side, somebody working on the server side did not do a good job. Or I won't say dynamic banding and all, but why they did not good job? They know that once in a while, once in a year, there will be huge demand. After that, there won't be. So for 1 day, 2 day demand, why should I increase my resources and pay more money? So every space, every resource is costly. So they allow it to fail. Okay. So we sometimes use products to fail, but in our house, we use products and we maintain them. So use it to fail or use it to maintain. Those are the two scenarios. Here, that a website is good. It works well all the year, throughout the year. But when it comes to that particular day where more users comes, more hits comes, then it is not available. So it is not only delivering the application, but managing and making it available is important. See, you think that coding or developer is the main person in the company. No. Whatever hero is only hero on the screen. Who is more important? Okay, hero is also important, but backend, director, producer, light boys, and a story writer, songwriter, this guys. So all those guys make it. The production team makes the developer a hero. Okay, so today we'll go through the steps one by one, how this application process works and how it is released to the market and why the users rate it good application and bad application, or your clients will pay you money, all those things. Okay, and we also come through some challenges. So it all starts with the idea. Okay, whenever you're talking about it, starts with the idea. What is an idea? It is based on a real life problem. That means whenever most of you maybe might have tried entrepreneurship, you all say that, okay, let's build an application. Why? Maybe people are hungry and they can't go to the restaurant. And what if I deliver the food to the user? That's it. That's a great $1 million business idea. Yeah, that is what Swiggy is all about. That is what Zomato is all about. So that means you have an idea, real life problem you're solving technically using a website, application, anything. So you're adding value or creating value for the organization. So it all starts with the idea. So idea is fine, but the next step is coding or implementing. So instruction to computer. What is coding? You instruction to the computer, number of lines will be there, singular, multiple developers will come together, they all work in synchronous and they will push that. And usually the code, if you see, it will be the text format or programming language is used. So programming language used by this. The guys who does that, we call them as developers. Developers. Okay, these guys sweat it out. The brain product is nothing but a nice code. Okay, so done. It is good. Once it is done, it need to be built. What is building? Build is the converting the code that is in the text format into a executable format. Suppose you all know exe file, okay, or var file. Okay, you are converting into executable format. So converting this text format into executable format, that is the step over here. It enables to run on the server, so you can run on the server. Important step to make code useful. So that is where this code is built, is brought to life into that. Because if not, I'm only coding in my laptop. Okay, in my laptop, and it is fine, but I need to convert it to executable file so anybody and everybody can use it. So that is the process going through the build. So application release, now we'll reach there. Then testing. Before deployment, it should go through rigorous testing, because checking for the bugs, inconsistency with the requirement. Your requirement is something and you have delivered something, or bugs are there. It is working on this operating system, not working on that operating system, or this is not visible, that is not, whatever it is, everything related to the code. That is where the testers will do that. Okay, so then it comes to single or multiple resources employed. You have a bunch of testers. Actually, usually the quality manager will assign, and once they do it, rejects and approves the build for further processing. If they reject, they send it back to the developer and say, hey, there is some problem with it, please do that. Hey, Praveen, you can't write on the screen. That is, I'm using a special tool, so don't try to write on the screen. Okay, I do that. Okay, no worries. You tried your pen. Okay, so essential step in every deployment. Of course, this is essential step in every deployment or development process. It is right from the ideation, the code, and somebody brainchild into a usable thing, into the hands of the user. That is how it goes through, and testing is one of the important major part. But automation and all taking over, but we are not here to talk about testing, but you want to know testing as one integrated part about the entire application release process. Good. Then we go with deployment. Involves configuring servers, installing dev tools, and whatever needed for application, access rules, configuring firewalls, etc. Everything before launching the code for the users. So that is what deployment is all about. Again, we'll cover all these topics as part of DevOps. Okay, from the purview of DevOps we cover. So even though you're doing manually, this I'm talking about without considering DevOps. Without even considering DevOps, I'm talking about what is going on. Okay, so don't get confused. DevOps we'll talk about later. Even without DevOps, we launched products, right? Without DevOps, we built great products, but there were many challenges. We will understand them. And once you understand the process and the challenges, then you will understand how DevOps is helping us to minimize these challenges and maximize the benefits. Okay, good. Then operate and monitor, of course, keeping check on the application for any unfound issues or bugs. Sometimes after deployment, under the natural usable conditions, okay, in the real environment, then they something may pop up. So development is not end of the process, deployment is not end of the process. Then you need to keep a watch on that. Okay. So monitor capacity and handling traffic. I told you about the application is good and results are very well and all. But one day when the traffic is more, these government websites and fall down because the server space, the resources they allocate for that, there is no dynamic banding, so that they will crash because they're not going to pay that much. So when the traffic is more, it will crash. But we, private companies like Google or Amazon or Flipkart, what happened to Telegram? You remember Telegram? The great guy, Tesla guy, who is that? I know he coded one day WhatsApp released the notification that we may charge you, or the privacy kind of settings they changed. So they can push some notification, whatever advertisements and all. So suddenly this guy said that, Elon Musk said, okay, why don't you try, Telegram? That's it. Suddenly there was huge traffic towards Telegram. Until then, many of you don't know what is Telegram. And suddenly Elon Musk, when he said, try Telegram, so people went on and their server got down. That means even though they're great minds, good minds working on Telegram application, okay, even they did not anticipate. That means the major failure is over here. Okay, this is good, this is good, this is good, but here, you see, even though you think that application is good, but availability, accessibility. So many times capacity or accessibility, usability, any issues you need to fix. So this is a continuous thing. So Telegram application, one message, and they had a big issue. That is the sweet pain. That is a sweet pain that they had more visitors, more logins. That's why we call it as a sweet pain of business, because you will get more profit or value out of that. Then improvements. So of course, okay, your Swiggy app improves every time, Uber improves, Telegram, WhatsApp, they keep on releasing improvements. How would you get improvements? By observing, monitoring the usage, by monitoring all those things. So when you're monitoring them, then you get idea. Okay, why don't we give this improvement? That goes back again as idea. You see that? Okay, how we are coming back to the, like a circle. So now improvements, making it more usable, new features, performance optimization, faster, making changes so that the user will get more benefit, user experience will be increasing. Okay, code and configuration, everything you can take care of there. Any updates to the application and version controls we can do. You all observe this, right? 1.3.4. So you can differentiate, like one is major changes like framework and whatever you're doing, the major changes, you're doing it. And 3 may be the minor changes like one feature, one application. And okay, so now we are talking about these food delivery, food aggregators. They're saying that, okay, Uber, then they changed a new feature called Uber Eats. Okay, so new feature has popped up. So those changes will be there, and regularly the bug fixes happening. Regularly bug fixes. Windows so known for that. Windows were known for bug fixes. Okay, so that's why they got bugged up and changed their entire thing in 2010. Okay, Windows 10. When Windows 10 it is done. Okay, so this is how the improvement is a continuous process. So whenever you say these replacement changes, bug fixes, what do you mean? Who is doing that? Okay, that means the input from here is continuous. This word is very important for us DevOps guys. Okay, this is continuous, or can I dare to say it is a cycle? It keeps going. Yeah, that is where, that means we can't assume that once you build an application and deploy or develop, our job is done. No, there will be always some part of the developers will be retained, okay, for that course. In the initial development stage, maybe you need 10 guys, but after it goes to the market, after it goes to production and all, you will reduce the team, but some people will always be available in case of any changes or requests or anything. But if there's a major push, then you will more developers will come and commit to the code. Okay, so all these content was I don't know. Okay, got it. So this is all these things, okay, can be done. That means improvements are continuous. Please catch that word. Okay, we will use it somewhere else. Improvements are continuous. Who will do the improvements? Again, improvement is nothing but an idea. So can I dare to say that process is continuous and almost endless life cycle of improvement? That means we have a endless cycle of improvement. So this will go, this will come, that will come, and then again. And it goes on. That's what I said. But before that, let's understand the roadblocks in the release results. So one thing is, because any delay in one of the process will slow down the entire process, because mostly it is manual, mostly it is serial, mostly it involves interdepartments working independently or teams working independently. That was the jamana, that was the situation, that was the period when there's too much effort for resource utilization, okay, or resource utilization will be there because everybody is working, everyone is pushing differently, so resource utilization is not captured properly or utilized properly. And there may be chances when these cogs are moving differently, the errors may slip through and reach the end user. That's why the good application and the bad application is decided by the operations team, not the developers, but the operations team. So that is where very, very important thing is communication between the developers and operations. So the coordination between developers and operations is very much important. See, I told you again, right? These slips or misses are supposed to be caught by operations. Like Hero, okay? Hero keeps on acting. He's working in the real-time scenario, faster, pressure, stage fright, or all those things under fed lights, all those things. Then who will take care of that developer or the hero will perform well? The light man. If you're depending upon the cameraman, one of the most important person in a movie is the cameraman. Okay, not the director. Of course, director is the soul, but cameraman. If your face cut maybe look from one profile, it will look good or something. So lighting effect, you're short, you're tall, okay, all those things. That's why cameraman adds a lot of value. And the light boys, how much they shake. So everyone contributes. So operations plays major role in the entire product life cycle or development life cycle or release life cycle. Operations plays a major role. But we always respect, or we always think that developers are very important. Yeah, developers, of course, they are heroes. But rest of the guys are entire film crew. Okay. Okay, that is how the miscommunication between developers and operations or misalignment between developers and operations will hurt our organization value, or it directly affects our bottom line. So conflict in the scope and purview stretches the release. I want this, you deliver this. This is not the scope. These things will initially there used to have these guys used to work in silos, and they have their own egos and mismatch. Even for that matter, I will use this point later. Operation guys doesn't understand code. They doesn't understand code, and they can't even understand what the code is. That is why they can't even suggest properly. They will let go. Okay, so that untrained kind of low skill operations will also affect developers. And developers, they don't know what operations is, what time, how much time it will take for the testing and all. So there is mismatch, less synergy between these things, and because of that, there are so many security issues were there, and opponents, and and testing often manual process. So you will develop, after some time you will give it to the tester, and tester will take sweet time and then give back to, then entire project time is gone. Okay, so waterfall methods and all were used, they were not doing. And pushing and pulling the code, pulling the code is manual process. So everywhere manual process. So those days the system was not efficient. But again, we came from Stone Age to the technology world. So we can't hate Stone Age. Without Stone Age, there is no technology world. So that is how that was going good. And then, okay, can I represent this like this? So I can say that this is a continuous process. I'm not labeling this, but whatever it is, in the earlier stage, we can talk about those things. And when we go this, you see, okay, here we are talking about DevOps. Okay, what is difference between two things? Exactly same, but more refined or more better way. So this is where right from the planning stage, creating, verifying the code, packaging it, releasing it, configuring the infrastructure, and monitoring performance. And when you get some, when you get some improvements and all, those things will go back to plan. That means if you have a circle, and this is circle, I twist the circle and make it, it becomes a infinite symbol. That is actually this infinite symbol. Or for that matter, this infinite symbol you open up, it becomes a circle. So what does it mean? Actually, it means a continuous process, never ends. Okay, this one is connected to that. That is where, if you see, this is connected to plan again. So monitoring is connected to plan. So it is a good way of showing that it is an infinite loop or continuous loop. So this word continuous, we will bring it here very much. Okay. So now you looked at as the typical earlier, code, whatever application deployment process. Now we'll look it from the DevOps point of view. Okay. So everybody talks about, most of them doesn't understand. They say that not a tool or software, but is a culture. What does it mean? So in the organization, when you enter into organization, we always say that organization culture. What is culture? Okay, if you say Indian culture, what is the culture? Or your organization culture? Or my family, my culture? What does it mean? The word culture means, in the organization, in generic way, what do you mean by culture? Anybody? Just generic word, culture. Anyone? Okay, most of you are shy guys. Okay, the word culture is the way things are done. Generic way to express the way things are done. That is the beautiful way to be defined. So in our culture, we do like this. In the organization culture, your organization culture is different from my organization culture. In my organization culture, we go very formal. We call sir. That is the organization culture. In your organization culture, you are very free, open. Okay, walk in, walk out kind of timings, and you go in shorts. Okay, you take hey yo kind of culture. So this is called culture. So that means in the basic form, it is the way things are done. So why we are talking about way things are done? The way the ideation or the code is reaching the client or the end user. So this is the way, this is the culture. It is not a software or tool. If it is not a software or tool, then what are we doing? Yes, of course, in this way, in this culture, we use a lot of tools to achieve our end goal. That is to gain attention and consistent use from the user. So that is why always user is our God. If he likes blue color, better keep blue color. So who will tell that, okay, blue color is good? In the last monitoring, somebody may give you feedback to the developer that, hey, that gray color you're using, it is very gloomy. That's what, so that means, okay, they don't do market research. Do you think that all the developers will go market research and then they change it? No, the operations team, other end who is, in between the user and the developer, they feed back to the developer, and developer does that. You got it? Developer is on the stage and we are prompting so we DevOps guys are very, very crucial for any time. So it is the goal of the DevOps. If somebody asks, what is the goal of the DevOps? It is to create and streamline the release processes. Yeah, that is what important. So the release process, that means right from my idea, my brainchild to the client, that release process without any roadblocks, you automate it. So entire process need to be automated. That's where development and operations come together. We are interlocked. We are married. Okay, this is a no divorce kind of marriage, because this is the culture kind. So we and you are integrated. So that means anything that passes from you and comes to us, okay, that will go through a process and sequence of steps, highly recorded, highly structured point, so that the end user will get a consistent, continuous, improved, efficient, available, accessible application. See, so many jargons are there. You will learn during the course, we will use these things. And always in the interview, I always tell my guys that whenever you're going for interview, okay, and other guys goes into, see, as an interviewer, I meet 20 people in a day, and most of them are give me stupid answers, idiotic answers. So I wait for the person who gives me right technical answers. So if I ask you, I always tell we do job readiness program. As part of the course, we do job readiness program. In the job readiness program, I always tell that, okay, how to answer questions. The first five questions in the interview are very, very, very important. You know that? The 5 questions, do whatever, keep your all wits and all, and answer those 5 questions. If you go through 5 questions well, you got all right, that you got the attention of the interviewer. So what it goes is, the interviewer goes, if I ask, what is Newton's third law? You say that I slap you, you slap me. That is not Newton's third law. Newton's third law is, for every action, there is equal and opposite. Not for every action, there is opposite reaction. No, equal and opposite reaction. So when I hear that as a physicist, I feel very good. Okay, so as a interviewer, when I sit as expert, I sit in the board, in the group, and you are answering me. Don't give me I mean kind of answers. Give me short, sweet, technical answers. So these accessible, availability, accessibility, all those words, technical words you use in the replies, that will be good. So whenever I teach, okay, in the program, and whenever our trainers teach, I always ask students to write down one side of your page all these technical jargons. So, and you keep on using over the period of 2 months, 3 months. When you use these jargons again, every day, it becomes your second nature. So then when you go to interview, you will spell out those words only. You won't say that I slap you, you slap me, but you will use that equal and opposite action. Okay, good. So this is the release process. So I'm removing the roadblocks and automating it. So it is the goal of the DevOps. Somebody asks, it is to create and streamline. Without creation, how can you streamline it? Okay, to create and streamline the release process, one hand to other, it is passing. What is passing? The solution in the form of code. The solution in the form of code, passing hands and getting released one by one without any roadblocks, so that it reaches the end user, and everything should be automatic. That is the keyword. When it is automatic, it is like a pipeline. Earlier, you remember, the trucks used to carry the fuel from offshore or location to cities. Now what they did, they made a pipeline. What is the pipeline? Seamless integration of the delivery system, so that whenever there is some change in the pressure at the delivery point, the source point, the delivery point also getting the change in the pressure. So seamless integration, that is what I'm going to discuss about. Good. So we should take proud that developer is one part of the entire process, and we as a DevOps guys take the burden, Herculean task, and we streamline the entire thing. That is why we should be good at many things. Actually, even we say, draw.io. Sometimes our CTO, okay, teaches draw.io. Why? You need to draw the process diagrams. Okay, what you do? Now I'm drawing this process diagram, this stupid art, I'm doing it. That is how you need to do the process diagram and explain others. Because you're smart here, but others need to get it. So when you say, okay, this is the process diagram, it will go here. And that's why we even teach for fun, draw.io. Sometimes not always the big tools and things. Sometimes some fun is required, right? So that you will lighten up. So draw.io is very, very important. And algorithm thinking, I'll talk about later. These things will, make you very useful and relevant. Okay, coming back. So DevOps simply being a combination of development and operations, but encompasses a lot of other things. Okay, a lot of other things also encompasses, but DevOps, that is how it came. As I said, it's a circle, you pinch it,
The circle, you twist it, it becomes a infinite symbol. Good. Comparatively new concept, yes, but is a buzzing word in the entire market. Okay, it replaced the traditional software development techniques where earlier I shown you, right? All those are being replaced. All those are being replaced. We are talking about pipelines. No more trucks, no more delivery, no more buckets and all. It's a seamless pipeline, gas to the house. Okay, no more cylinders kind of thing. The gas reaches your house to pipeline, you will pay as per the meter. How convenient it is. So that is how. So then automate the process, infrastructure or application development, testing, deployment, all those things. I will take you one by one step. Bear with me. The main goal is to create CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration, continuous deployment, or development deployment. These things we will do that. Okay, so we will talk about these two things. Integration is fine, and it's a culture or methodology. How the way, what is the culture I told you? The way the things happen in my house, the way the things happen in my organization, that is my organization culture. Okay, so implement agile methodology. So always DevOps implements agile methodology where you divide the big problem into small chunks and you handle. That means if you give me the entire development process, I will develop, I take 3 months to develop and give you. You take 1 month to test it and all those things. Then you give me reply. And again, I change the developments. Again, I took 2 months. Look at how it is going. It is not feasible. Clients will be unhappy. And these days we are paying by hour. When they are paying by hour, they want value for money. They will be observing. So that means if your system, your culture, your that entire methodology is not good, then it is inefficient. That means actually, I heard in one of the paper that DevOps is not only developed for IT. Actually, it is as a culture, as a methodology. For any process, you can use it. For any process streamlining. But IT adopted it with the tools and all. Okay, it's like, we talk about, right? Sigma, 5 Sigma. It is like 5 Sigma. Okay, so, sorry, what we do 5 Sigma? So it is a Japanese structure for manufacturing, like 5 Sigma. You can use 5 Sigma in the production, you can use in the IT, you can use anywhere, right? It's like that. Okay, for that matter, every object should have a place and everything should be in place. That you can apply Japanese culture in our house also. Okay, if you know where is the first aid, when somebody gets, you go there. So this is the culture or methodology. If somebody asks, what is this culture methodology you're talking about? You say this. This is the way that things are done. If those things are done systematically and there are no roadblocks and the flow will be continuous and seamless flow. Okay, so this is agile methodology is implemented and all the things will be done into small parts and parallel actions happen. Good. So moving on. We talk about continuous integration. So until now, guys, you are with me. This pace and speed and language is fine with you. Okay, I know you are budding develop engineers. One day you will become a great, managers and all. But right now, is it fine? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Some of you, please encourage me by saying something. I know this is a Friday evening and you have a lot of life to do. Okay, but this will change your life. Okay, I'm a CEO of a company and I have CTO and all. We teach. We are not some guys whose outsiders will come and teach and leave. No, not online. You come and see us. Okay, we are a software company, 2 floors, and we will give you place. We take only 20 people per batch. Only 20. It is our way of giving back or whatever. Okay, at the same time, 20 guys, we can understand each other. AWS account. Okay, so everything will be practical. You will create things practically. Okay, so that is how. Okay, I mean, don't expect that I will give you the server and everything, but whatever application deployment and all, if you're too good, maybe we'll show you our real applications. Okay, so focus and we will take you to the heights. And we need some people, not a promise. Don't join us because I said that you may hire me, sir. No, I'm not saying it. I'm saying that if you're good, okay, that is how we entered into training. My friends, other CEOs and other companies, vice presidents and all, we thought that we need to train somebody, one of us need to train people and offer to the market. One fine day, we are very excited, and we said that. Then I said, okay, I will train because I love training. I love interacting. I love giving stories, explanation. So I'm not like serious. Okay, DevOps is a building testing. You do this. No, I'm not. I get excited when I train. I love to interact people. Okay. So then I said, okay, I'm good at that. Let me take up that role. Okay. That is pre-COVID. And COVID hit us very badly. But when COVID hit us, foundationally strong companies survived. And I'm glad to say that we are one among them. Many of the companies vanished. So in those days, actually, training helped us. Okay, our revenues were coming down, our projects were delaying, and the billing was very tough. We could not meet. Suddenly, they declared, so cloud, going to cloud. Wow, very, very tough situation. Those days, DevOps really helped. Okay, when the situation is bad, DevOps guys will save, because developer, you give a laptop, he may go to Goa and code. Okay, you give it vacation, he will sit in the room and code. But who will make it successful? DevOps guys. Okay, that's why companies really relied on DevOps. Post-COVID, everybody realized that, no, we need to streamline our process. Process should be automatic wherever their people are. And that's why, even though after, so many days after COVID, still people are running work from home and all, because the process are all streamlined. Thanks to DevOps guys that, they helped us. Very good. So continuous integration is a big keyword we are going to talk about in DevOps things. So what is continuous key integration? So integrating. So I have one pipe, I have another small pipe. I am integrating them. So that means if we need to cook faster, what you should do? Somebody need to bring the vegetables, wash them, and somebody need to cut them, and somebody need to masala, and then somebody need to boil them, somebody need to serve them, somebody need to deliver it to the user. So we streamlined the process thanks to Ford, okay, Harrison Ford, who streamlined the manufacturing process and made it a line process. So this method, whenever I read this method, being engineer, I see that this is almost like the line process. Somebody was smart enough to identify how to do it. If not, everything will go systematic. Okay, so we know what to do, who will upload and who will do. Roles and responses are clearly defined. So it is a process where the developer, the hero, commits the code, okay, and he does that or she does that multiple times. Okay, no, this is good. Okay, send it. After 1 hour, send it. After 2 hours, send it. And I am not one developer. We are 10 guys working on the same application. So 10 guys developing multiple things, are working on the servers, and they are pushing, committing. Okay. And when they're doing multiple times, who is taking care of that? The DevOps guys. So DevOps engineers, okay, they come into picture and they say that you do your job. We are not stopping you. You streamline, you keep doing it. We will take care of that. That is a great thing, right? Somebody is throwing knives and you're catching them and streamlining them. Okay, that is what it does. Followed by automatic build. Once they develop automatic build, testing, deployment, everything into the environment, you do it. That is where the continuous integration comes into picture. So first, let's understand, what does the developer do? He or she codes, source code management will be there, multiple developers contributing. Usually we used to contribute to a folder or directory. Then we have security issues, access issues, read-write issues, and node tracking, who is doing how much work, who is changing what, no issues. Then from there, we went to cloud kind of thing, Git distribution version control. Okay, SVM is centralized, Teamforce, various tools we use so that it was source code management came into existence. That means now different people working in different areas on different laptops still contributing or source code. The code, we call it as source code. Okay, that we say develop a code, we say that is actually we call it technically source code. Okay, these are the terminologies we will solve. So then GitHub. So Git is done. Git is actually a distributed version control, and GitHub, it is publicly hosting Git-based central repository. You might have heard this word, repository. So it is holding everything. So now we got the code. Developers is done. Okay. Then we need, under the continuous integration, build tool. What is the build tool? It is to compile the application source code. The source code, whatever committed by the developer, you need to compile it under the build. Okay, so check for logic correctness, finding errors, syntax and compilation, all those things you do, and integrate the code without any applications, and package the code once it is with error free. You package it, and then once there are no integration, you will proceed with the extensions. So that is where we use Maven, okay, Gradle or Ant. So Maven is popular. Okay, we go with the popular one. So extensions you will have jar, var, year, okay, exe if it is Microsoft installer, and Microsoft MSI, and .NET if you're doing .NET project and all. So Python we use .make. All these things you do in the build stage. Okay, then we go with test phase. In the test phase, you look for bugs and anomalies. Okay, whether it is consistent, whatever requirement, and you are delivering the same thing, and bug fade. That is where I just interject here that you need to know something about programming, coding, little bit of understanding is required. Then the great DevOps guys, I'll repeat again in the letter, great DevOps guys knows bit of coding. Okay, I seen the successful DevOps guys knows bit of coding. Okay, so bit of coding, not developer level coding, to understand coding. Okay, good. So test servers are used, of course. Testing manually executable file is transferred to production environment. So once it is tested, good, you will go. If not, send it back to the developer. Okay, that is how we do it. Then as part of that, we also go to deploy. Once build, move executable file to production environment, that is a server, run our production, whatever server you have. Okay, manual process. It is all manual process until now. Whatever we are talking about, from the develop to build to the test to deploy, everything is manual process. Keyword, manual process. Okay, more time taking. Of course, you are getting a pushing and pulling is involved, and human being is involved, prone to errors, all those things. Okay, as code base and features, flow, efforts and multiply. These things are, flowing properly. The efforts are multiplied. You get more results out of it. So the flow, when you're integrating all these things, more throughput. It's like a traffic. You stop the traffic and start. You always think whenever you're in the green signal, at the red signal, you say that, why don't they open and close more frequently? Start, stop will make the system more inefficient. That's why what the policeman does is he or she leave one side for 5 minutes. That means initially it starts slowly, but once it picks speed, more and more cars will go through the signal. So that is why when you streamline the process, efforts will multiply, okay, or minimize the effort also. Customers may not like it, because if you are manually you're doing it, okay, efforts will go higher, costing will go higher. So manually may not. If you do any mistake, okay, it's not good. Hence, we go with CI/CD pipeline. So deployment is a problem. Then when you make it a effortless, seamless integration, this stop, start, manual process. Manual process is I give, you take. I give, you take. When we keep in the pipe, I don't know whether you're taking or not. I just throw into the pipe. And other side, your process is also streamlined that you keep on taking. So this is where the pipeline comes into picture. You understood? Manually, I give, you receive, and you start. That is manual process. Okay. So then pipeline came into picture. Okay. That is where hosting. What is hosting? I need to tell you that repositories in the cloud, GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, AWS. We'll talk about cloud computing, Azure or AWS and all. Okay. Ready code is pushed into the push-pull are the words we use. Okay. Then pushed into the remote server. All those things are done in the hosting. So good. Then you need continuous integration server. Yeah, this is where you will work. You will put to work. As a DevOps guy, you will be doing this. You will be creating a continuous integration pipeline, and it was done in the history says that 2008 Sun Microsystems did. Then it was bought by some other company, and the Japanese guy Hirokoshu or someone. Okay, that guy did that, and he made it open source. That's where the Jenkins was born. So you heard about the word Jenkins. So for continuous integration, we go with Jenkins, where Jenkins is an open source for the users and all. If you want multiple guys, enterprise version is there. So that is something different. So it is nothing but process to integrate all tools, SCM, build, dev server, CI server, everything you integrate them. Okay, CI pipeline is created, manual or automatic code. You commit the code by the developers, and everything will become automatic. Automatic pull by the build tools, compiles, integrates packages automatically, and deploy into the dev environment. Don't worry, it is like giving from one person to other person. Okay, one person is making the product, other person is cleaning the product, other person is checking for anomalies, anything, and other person is packaging it properly. Okay, nice package, and other person is taking care of the legal things like label, invoice number, and all, and is giving to the other person who it delivers to the user. So imagine like that. This is same when we teach these tips and all. So these steps and all, one by one we teach, and every step attracts a tool. That is why when we talk about DevOps, you talk about more number of tools. Okay, huge time and saving, and compared to waterfall method. What is waterfall method? You must have learned step by step waterfall method. It is not like that, but is a continuous process. Okay, so Jenkins and other things are there, but here we talk about containers. Okay, so what is a container? Helps in packaging application, its dependencies, libraries, everything into an image file. Okay, that is what packaging is. So for application to run, you need software. For application to run, you need some dependencies. Okay, all those things are required. These all need to be containerized. So that is where we talk about, image file is created that can be run on any system without worrying any dependencies. Because if I develop some software and using some libraries and all, when you install you must also install all those dependencies and all. So that is where we say that we need to generalize this. So when we containerize this, when we package it, containerize it, it can be run on anywhere. So libraries, dependencies, what all we have, okay, the server configuration, everything will be given. Okay, manually done at all servers. Of course, it is done. Any issue in any of this process may further delay the entire delivery. Okay, each container, the beauty of the container is each container is isolated. Okay, it's the instance, and these instances can run on server independently and still will not affect anything. Okay, so the same server, each having a separate containers, and each container is having its own dependencies and applications. They can run independently. Okay, we'll teach you later. Okay, then that is where continuous integration you have done. As a DevOps guy, you've done integration. Then when we talk about continuous delivery, okay, it is about post-testing the development environment. Further testing by QA will be done. So it is a process where artifact successfully passes the development environment. So delivery to that is a manual process. Okay, so submit the artifact in the local drive and then the Google Drive or various shared drive, and it will be taken by the QA guys. The manager approves it, and then it will be taken. Testing happens successful. It is going to the staging. If not, it will go to back to the developer. So user testing, acceptance test, and all. So manually deployed into production. So continuous integration, we integrated all the process, and we are delivering. That is again manually. The word manually is going on. Then we get continuous deployment. What is continuous deployment? It is 100% automation process. This is the best scenario for the organization, and we DevOps engineers will deliver that. Okay, developer commits code in the SCM, and it is automatically pulled by the build tools, compiled, integrated, packaged, and automatically the continuous integration server should deploy into DevOps environment and tested. Okay, upon passing, it will go to staging. Okay, user UAT test and all, then to production environment, and YAML languaging for code is used here. So deployment and delivery are the two CDs we talk about. Okay, delivery or deployment. But here the major difference is automation and manual process. Okay, so infrastructure as code. This is one more concept is there. What is that? See, suppose we have a server and we created, one server, and previously we used our laptops to run the run the application. You need operating system, you need software, you need applications, everything you need. But these servers, as scaling happens, you need to create more and more and more and more servers. Previously, it used to be a nightmare for the system admin guys. Why? They need to create everything and install servers manually. They need to do everywhere. Thanks to the virtual servers or the cloud computing and all, okay, so now the scenario changed. But previously, no tracking. One guy, that's why system admin, nobody used to touch. That guy used to retire in the company. Only he or she knows what is going inside. It is like a black box. Okay, leave it. Lot many cables and all those things. Okay, you are having on-prem. Okay, so no tracking mechanism. And how much server, how much resources you're using for each application, I can't tell you. How much processing power I'm using, I can't tell you. Sometimes looking at the experience, they say that, okay, give it 8 GB when it needs only 4 GB. So waste of resource. All these things. Then came a concept called infrastructure as a code to check, okay, progress from the initial to the current stage. So whatever it is, everything is scripted to contain, maintain, duplicate. Okay, you want to create. So one script you write, with the script, you created a server and you want to multiply, you run the script and it multiplies. Okay, so that is how it is very easy. And with that, what happens? Which application, how much allocation and how much utilization and billing, everything. You want to increase, you want to decrease, everything you can do. So this application may need dynamic banding. This application doesn't require. All those things we can do. So here we use and there are various tools are there. Terraform, okay, we use. Clear? And moving on, we have monitoring. So of course, monitoring is always required. It's a watchdog. Okay, so the cloud watchdog. So cloud watch, that's what they said. Monitoring application and infrastructure, how it is going. We talked about monitoring. It will give you the feedback. Okay, and everything we do. Okay, now we talk about what to learn. So this is where we will bring that topic like, is DevOps coding or no coding or low coding? Okay, the voting. I would say something, but what do you say? It is low coding or no coding, or what is that? Coding. What do you think? Anybody?
So I think low coding.
Low coding. Why do you think it's low coding? Because when you approached anyone, you said it's a no coding, but now you're saying low code. Half of the people hate it. So definitely it is not coding, but it is, okay, definitely not no coding. If somebody is saying no coding, they are playing with you. I told you, right? It is low coding. That's where I try to convince in the initial phase of my demo that when you start your computer, you need some application language, some application to run, or you need a tool. How the tool works, you need to give instruction to the code tool. Okay, suppose select star from database. Okay, this is a script. So that means any tool you are using needs some scripting language, some logic. What script is depending upon? Logic. Script is depending upon algorithm thinking. How you solve a problem using algorithm thinking. So for developers, algorithm thinking is a great subject. Okay, there are so many methods of so many algorithm methods that they need to learn. But we DevOps guys, we don't need to know those things, but we are going to use so many tools as part of our process. So each tool, for that matter, shell scripting, okay, Linux you do, or Linux, whatever you call, okay, we do that. Okay, Docker, Terraform, okay, how you will do the infrastructure as code. So all those things, scripting language is required. So hence I say that don't hate coding. You cannot avoid coding. For that matter, you open Excel, there is code. There are buttons, some button and all. But when you some button, there is a script there. There is a code there. Small snippet. Okay, this is scripting. So scripting is essential. But how do you get script when you have a algorithm? So your mind, so problem to solution, it will go through stages. You have a logic behind, then your brain talks about algorithm, and then you code or script. You code or script. Suppose I will throw you a small, curveball. Usually I ask this question to students and most of them can't reply. Either you are shy or you can't reply. You can take one of them. How can I decide whether a number is positive or negative? For a computer, how will I tell whether a number is positive or negative? Anybody? A number is positive or negative. How will you tell?
Guys, please answer the question.
Yeah, just play with me. We should understand, try to learn.
Minus symbol.
Sorry? Based on the symbol?
Yeah, plus or minus.
As a computer, how will I understand these symbols? I'm a computer. I'm a machine. I don't understand your human plus and human 3. For me, 7 means this is my 7. For me, 14 means how much? That is 14. So everything is binary, ones and zeros. Okay, I don't understand your plus, I don't understand your 3. For me, 3 means that. So you need to give me a logic. I'm giving you a clue. Give me in a logic way.
Okay, left side of 0 is minus and right side of 0 is plus.
Very good. See, any number that is greater than 0 is positive. Any number that is less than 0 is negative. This much logic, this much algorithm is important. If not, you can't survive in the world. Forget about IT. You can't even survive in the world. So that means what I need to invoke is your algorithm thinking. Okay, if your algorithm thinking is good, you will rule IT field. That's why IT is the only domain where you don't need qualification. Okay, for that matter, great guys, they don't have proper qualification. But algorithm thinking is good. That means if I need to convert anyone into a proper IT professional, algorithm thinking, I check for algorithm. That's why the logical thinking and algorithm thinking. Okay, that's why they check your aptitude. Did you ever think that why they're checking aptitude? Because do you have logic? Do you have algorithm? So when you have algorithm, you can solve real life problems. Some people can't solve problems. Why? Because they don't have algorithm thinking. Some people can solve problems with okay, this is happening. Oh, that might be a problem. So even in real life, we solve problems using algorithm thinking. So don't think that logical thinking and algorithm thinking is IT or technical. Even the child will have logical thinking. Okay, if I ask mama, mama won't give. If I ask papa, papa will give me. So logic. Okay, so that is our food. I need to ask mama. Money, I need to ask papa. So we have a logic for that. So all those things are based on our survival depends on logic. How to cross a road. Crossing a road is a big thing than coding because 100 variables. You know your ability, you know your disability or that kind, everything, then you cross safely. That means you'll use lot of logic and suppose algorithm thinking. So algorithm thinking you need to focus on, guys. So don't ever hate algorithm thinking and logic. You don't need to be coding big codes and all, but minimum, I told you, one of the best DevOps engineers, I will give you in writing. You ask any great DevOps guys or the great guys, head of the organizations. I worked in one of the major companies and all, right? So you ask the C-level and all, they say that best DevOps guy will know coding. Okay, that means not okay. The developer is not there. You code. No, that's not coding. To understand coding. Okay, when you read, oh, there is some issue over here. Okay, may I know what is this? Because that will result into error. So you will be working, helping the guys, overlooks and all you will be helping. So that's why it is low coding. That means you will do the scripting language, but also learn algorithm thinking, which comes from logical thinking. Okay, so any programming language you pick, very easy one, like take Python. Python is bachon ka game hai, because in the CBSE is teaching Python at 6th grade. If some of you says that I hate Python, I'm scared of Python, we are not talking about the developer Python frameworks and all, oops concepts. No, We are talking about basic things, logical things. Okay, you need to know what is a variable, because DevOps, the developer will give you all the data and there will be variables and all, and you don't know what is a variable. Okay, so that is where we have, we need to understand basics. You get it? So algorithm thinking, don't say no to it. For that matter, whatever you learned in your colleges, some programming language, you revise it. I won't let you code. Promise, pinky promise, I won't let you code. But at the same time, okay, forget about coding, algorithm thinking you develop. But you can't do algorithm thinking without taking support of any programming language. But any basic programming language you take, C programming language you take, Python you take. So if you have programming language, because other person is a developer, he or she is talking in programming. So I send you to France and you say, I don't know French words. You need to learn some French words, right? If not, how can you survive with those guys? So like that, learn some basics. It is advice, not mandatory. Because if I say mandatory, you will run away. It is an advice, not a mandatory. But scripting, mandatory, because most of the things are there. So did I answer your questions? Okay, that point of this entire thing. So you will use all these tools are covered. See, networking is also important. Networking also is important, the techniques and all, how to create servers and all. Okay, this is important. Okay, all those things. And other areas, we have various tools. In US, they use different tools. Maybe your client is different. One of the question asked by student is, sir, in my company, this tool is used, that tool. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So if if I'm a Telugu guy, if I don't know Telugu, can I learn Hindi? Can I learn English? No. Without learning my mother tongue, I can't speak or learn other languages. So like that, if you learn one tool, other tool maybe syntax or positioning here and there changes. But what it does is same. Oh, you're creating infrastructure, that is always same. But there will be left side, there will be right side, left side, right side. Okay, those are the things. So you may take 2-3 days and to pick the tool. So don't worry about which tool and all. Cloud computing, AWS or Azure. What is there? Cloud is a cloud, server is a server, configuration is a configuration, billing is billing, testing is best testing, and systems and all. Everything is same. But this guy may be doing this way, that guy may be doing. Don't mind. Okay, but one you need to learn. People even confuse you. We teach AWS, we teach Azure, we teach both. Why do you need to learn both? Okay, so once you learn Azure or this thing, you can do other thing. Only thing is, you need some time to spend on that. You bought a Samsung phone and suddenly you upgraded to iPhone. Will you go to classes or what? Only thing is, one day you keep it, okay, in iPhone we do this, Samsung we do that. Oh, now iPhone is this. Okay, after some time you're expert. Okay, but this is your job. 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours you will work there. So that's why don't get panic or that. Okay, don't go with these marketing things. Okay, good.